Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us. Welcome here to USA Global TV and Radio, to the Mallorca Connection. My name is Roland, and it's an honor and pleasure to welcome you to my show. I started actually the show about 3.5 years ago, and that's the reason why it's called the Mallorca Connection, because at the time I was living on the beautiful island of Mallorca. I've been living there for 14 years, which I left a little bit more than 3 years ago. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, my name is Roland. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a coach and a mentor. So I started my career in building up different companies in different branches after I left the corporate world. A very successful fast career there. I started my own business and became a coach by accident. So I had the pleasure to train and consult the largest tech companies in the world, worldwide. And I do a lot of other stuff. So maybe you join my website, rolandfiddle.com. You get more information. But today, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about me. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to interview an amazing person. She became a very good friend of mine. I had the pleasure to join her from the beginning. She is the founder and the CEO of this amazing platform of USA Global TV and Radio. And it's a big honor and pleasure to welcome her and to talk about her vision, what drives her to transform global media. And then I want to also talk about her other side, becoming a very successful and very productive author. So let's welcome here on USA Global TV and Radio, the CEO and founder of this amazing platform, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck.
Hello, Roland.
Hello, Dr. Jacalyn. Great to see you.
Thanks. It's great to see you and be on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, for me, same experience. It's an honor and a pleasure to interview you. Because you do just an amazing job, and I love to be part of this global TV family, and we are a lot of amazing colleagues bringing and sharing experience. But this is only possible because of the amazing job you're doing. You had this vision to transform media. So, I mean, what really drives you? I mean, I know it's a hell of work to be to build a broadcast station like this. You're available, I would say, 24 hours. I mean, we have a 6-hour time difference. I'm in Europe, you're on the East Coast. I was texting you something today, and it's been about 2 or 3 in the morning, and you text me, okay, I come back to you when I'm awake. And I said, but she's already awake. So you have a lot of power. So what drives you? What is your vision? What drives you?
Oh, by the way, I was up at that time because I was checking to see if our new book had made the new release list, because you have to check every hour. And then I saw your message, and I thought, why did I write when I wake up? Because obviously I must be awake, because I couldn't be texting you back. But what really drives me is helping other people and giving people a place to share their voice. And whatever I do, I'm fully invested in. So I think part of the reason that I've been able to do as many things as I have is because I am single and I'm not looking for a relationship. So therefore, I can put all my time and energy in these things that I'm doing that are so much fun. I was taking care of my mom full time for almost 4 years. And then coming out of that, that's a big thing, a big commitment. I miss her every day. And so now just taking time for myself, doing the things that I love to do. And this is at the top of the list.
Wonderful. So, gentlemen, this amazing lady is still single, but I can tell you something. If you don't approach her in a proper way, you're in trouble with me, guys.
I don't think I always look like I'm welcoming, and I'm usually wearing rings, so I look like I'm married, only because I don't want to be having, I just have only so much time. So if there's somebody out there for me, they're going to have to work a little harder to get it.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So you have an amazing, successful background in the corporate world. How did it come up with an idea to start your own broadcasting company?
Well, I feel strange spotlighting myself because I'm producing this show. So I'll just stay here with you if that's all right. So what happened was, I think it was 2019, I got a cold call from a radio station in New York, and they wanted to know if I would like to be interviewed for 8 minutes about my role as a life coach. So I had also, in addition to what I was doing in corporate, I was usually doing something else on the side, and I got my certification as a holistic life, career, and executive coach. So I thought, why not? I'll do the interview. And they called me, and the next day, which was a Saturday, somebody called and said that I had all 5 elements of what they were looking for, and they all began with a P, and I forget: poise, professionalism, projection, something. And would I like to have my own show? And then they told me how much it was going to cost. And I think at the time it was 3,800 for half an hour slot on Fridays. And I said, you know what, I'll do it. And so the show was called Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, The Drive, live at 5. And the host in New York would interview me each week. And so eventually I just said, I want to be the one interviewing. And then around the same time, I also was interviewed at a television station in New Jersey. And after the interview, I was like this, I couldn't stop smiling. I was so happy. So I went in to see the owner and I said, could I have my own show? And we had a whole conversation about it. And so I started my own television show in person. So that's how it started.
Very, very good. Very, very good. So, I mean, what you do, but some of our audience know I don't even own a TV set.
Yes.
And I remember when I was approached by a friend of mine, I said, hey, Roland, I'm running a show. It's brand new, USA Global TV and Radio, the journey of my life. Would you join me as an interview guest? And I said no, because when in my very early years, in my very first career, I was interviewed actually in a show twice in Austria. And they didn't allow me to say what I want to say. So I said, no, I'm not interested at all. And John said, no, it's totally different. And I trusted him. I said, okay, I'm coming, but I don't want to fly to the US anymore. No, you can do it online. So, and that's how we started. And then we met, and then our cooperation and our friendship started. So what really drove me to participate in when I was searching on Google about USA Global TV, you do something different to mainstream media. It's not about movies or just entertainment or just, I don't know, negative news, scaring people the hell out of them. You just bring really education, absolute education, in different areas, whatever it is. So many different areas. It's art, it's books, it's traveling, it's cooking, it's health, whatever it is. It's about educating people. And I think that's really what's missing on a broadcast station, that we learn something, not just consuming, it's just being passive. Of course, also when I look at USA Global TV Radio, I also listen to somebody or observe something, but I can learn something, I can think about it, I can reflect myself. And that's what really drove me to become part of this global family.
It's beautiful. And on the show that you and I just did, we had someone who popped in off LinkedIn and just shared information that I didn't know, you didn't know. So that is what it's about. I think at the core for me, it's about bringing a safe place to people from around the world to share their stories. So we have something here called elevated listening. And I don't know that this has been adapted or incorporated anywhere. And some of the things that I see, because I am on social media quite a bit, because we're on social media and I'm always looking to see what's going on. I just saw an interview yesterday on Instagram, and it was someone pretty well known, an A-level celebrity. And the interviewer had the list of questions there. And, for our channel, we don't use a script, but he had the list of questions, and the guest apparently had stated that he wanted to talk about something new coming out, and he didn't want to talk about some other things in the past. And the interviewer 3 different times went back to the exact subject that the person said they didn't want to talk about. And finally, the interviewee said, "What are you doing?" Right in the middle of the interview, "What are you doing?" And so when people make the interview controversial or they make it about themselves, I think there's some element of people who might like that, but that's not what we're about here. We're about listening at the highest level, listening without judgment, listening without providing solutions, listening without interruption, and listening without stage hogging. I've seen on a number of other platforms, no judgment. The host will ask the guest a question, the guest answers the question. There's no affirmation or acknowledgement of what the guest shared. And then the host takes it and makes it about them. "Oh, this happened to me, blah, 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 blah." And then the guest is sitting there, "Wow, you just stole the interview from me."
Absolutely. You just meant elevate listener, and I also joined your course, and then I think it's so important that we really relearn proper communication, and proper communication starts with listening first before talking, and it's really. Man, I was the same, when I was young in my years, because there's a lot of stuff going on in my head and somebody's talking to me. I didn't really just listen. I just was thinking about a solution. When somebody has an issue with creating a solution, or I just thought, I know this already. Yeah, I know this already. So I bring this in a certain box. And I found out that I missed so many opportunities. I missed so many interesting people because I didn't probably listen to them. And this was a huge learning for me. Because I had the luck that he's a very good friend of mine since 14 years. Actually, this March we had a celebration, 40 years of friendship. And he gave me the feedback. He said, "Roland, you have to." He's 10 years older than me, very successful businessman, by the way. And he gave me the feedback. He said, "Roland," I was 21. I said, "Roland, listen first. And don't find already a solution or think about what you can answer. Just listen to the end. There's plenty of time to think about what you're going to answer." And this was a game changer for me, just listening. And I think that's what you are doing. And I think it's also important that every member of our USA Global TV and Radio family has to join this elevated listener course first and really learn to listen to the interviewee. Absolutely. It's so important.
Thank you, Roland. Yes, it's really the crux and the foundation of everything that we do here. And something I want to share is when I was a TV show host on the radio, at the TV show, at the TV plates, and then also on the radio, someone said to me, "You're a really good host. I think you'd make an even better producer." And at the time, I was kind of like, "What, produce? I don't know anything about producing." I mean, I've been in sales my entire corporate career, selling meetings and events and loyalty programs, telecommunications, cars, when I worked for my dad and my uncle. And I thought about it later, and I thought, producing a TV show, what does that look like? Well, around the same time, I decided to listen to the broadcast engineer at the radio station in New York. And he said, "I can teach you how to be a broadcast engineer. So as many shows as you have, you can take them out over the airwaves." So I was really self-taught in terms of how to be a producer, but I had 6 different mentors that I listened to. You've been a mentor for me since the beginning. And so my point is, I listened to what other people suggested. And now, and it's not a feather in my cap, I'm just stating, now I can produce television shows, I can produce commercials, I can produce voiceovers, I can write books. I mean, I could go on and on. I can produce radio shows. And it's because I listened to other people and I decided to walk through the door and see what the opportunity looked like.
Absolutely. Man, you're a role model for so many people. Man, when you look back, Dr. Jacalyn, 5 years ago, no book on the market, no TV show, and what happened? We come later to this. Many books. We come later after the commercial break. But let's stay on the. You're running a successful broadcast station. You got awarded by YouTube because all the recordings are also on YouTube. We have 100,000 subscribers on one channel, 30,000 on the other one. When you look back 3-4 years ago, what happened?
It's insane. Roland, it was actually in 2020, I was in corporate And I had already decided I was going to retire, but I wasn't really sure because I had health issues, and I was selling these sales meetings and these I forget, award meetings, people who are in the top performers and I would go to the events and I would be with the executives, but I was always sick. My ulcerative colitis was always there. So anyway, this one meeting with the board for where I worked, one of the executives said to me, "How long do you think you'll have enough energy to do this job?" And I was kind of like, "What?" And somebody else at the table said, "You didn't just say that, did you? Because you can't say that about someone's health." But the long and short of it was, at that moment, I was highly offended. But then I thought, that's my out. That's really it. I'm not supposed to be here anymore. Just do something else. And so I thought it was going to be about life coaching. And I also got certified as a yoga sculpt with weights, yoga sculpt teacher during the pandemic. I got certified as a meditation teacher during the pandemic, but no one could afford to pay me any of these things. So I started watching Facebook, and I saw someone that I knew from the television station. He was doing his TV show on Facebook and YouTube. So I reached out to him. I said, "Would you be willing to tell me how you're doing what you're doing?" So he said, "I work with a producer." And he introduced me to the producer. I hired the producer, and we took our first show, which was Stories of Hope, Inspiration, and Overcoming Adversity, onto Facebook and YouTube. And I watched what he did, and then I learned to do it myself. So then we had 4 shows. We had a dating show, we had the business show, we had the Stories of Hope, and I don't remember the last one. And then people started coming to me and asking me if they could do a show with me. And I thought, okay. So for the first year, I think we were wrapping with Dr. Jacalyn. There were no contracts, there were no fees, there was nothing. And then we started getting more views and more views. And I was doing this full time. And I thought, you know what? I need to charge for this. And so our rates are, compared to what I was paying to the other places, are extremely reasonable. I think the more followers and subscribers we get, the more people come here. We're going to have some big advertisers on the platform. But I realized I had found something. And that was when it became a real business.
Absolutely. So when I
That
wrap
was
it up,
August 12th of 2022, by the way.
yeah. I guess I also joined in 2020 in something in
Yes.
September or something like August, September, something like that. Yeah, amazing. So when I wrap it up for your audience, I mean, when whoever you're listening to, today is, when you have a dream, start your own business. And what I'd like to check and say before is, talk to people who are already there, who have the knowledge. Don't ask your parents if they're not in the business. Don't ask your friends if they're not in the business. Ask somebody who is already in this business that you want to build up, and ask for advice, because I know that everyone is supportive and teaches you. And ask the right people. I guess that's the first thing, talking to the right people. So important, and get the support.
Yeah, and I'd like to add on to that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I'd like to add on to that. Some of the things that I learned during my corporate career, and also when I was in the television and radio spots before I came here, is many times I was told no, 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 no. And now, as the founder and owner of this business, I want to say yes as many times as possible. I was told before I had my own platform, you can't do radio and television together. You have to make a choice. So I said, you know what, bye. I'm going with the radio. And here on our platform, I want people to collaborate. I want people to do their own thing, because there are so many people in the world and we can only get to them one at a time. So do your own thing, and I support you. So I try to say yes as often as possible. And I really want this to be a family across the world.
That's what I love. And I love your approach, and you really say yes as many times as possible, because we get so many no's from people who have no idea what's really inside us, what is really what we are capable of, what is really our potential, and people give up frustrated. I love this approach, and as I said before, I love to be part of this of USA Global TV and Radio. I was to say a family. It's just becoming friends, and we support each other, and it's all about what I really love. It's all about it's networking, of course, but it's also about sharing and caring on a direct, honest way, and that's what I love. It's about co-creation, sharing and caring, and co-creation. Very nice. I love that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I would love to go from, because you get some awards from, I guess, from YouTube, wasn't it?
Yes. So this is the YouTube Silver Creator Award for passing 100,000 subscribers. I'm having it framed tomorrow. I'm excited about that. And the interesting thing is, I didn't know anything about this. It was Dr. Madeline Chan, one of our team members, who said to me probably a year ago, she said, "You're going to get the Silver YouTube Creator Award for 100,000 subscribers." I said, "What are you saying? Like, that's ridiculous." And so immediately I started looking into it because I love my gold stars and I love the awards. But this award, this isn't just about me. This is about everybody on this platform. This is about everybody watching and all the producers that we have, the SEO team, the marketing team, et cetera, and our guests and our fans, because without all that, we wouldn't have anything. So this award represents years of hard work, years of copyright violations, being hacked twice by team members who are doing search engine optimization, and then threatened me to pay them to give the channel back. And it's been a long ride. And I didn't think we would make it, but we did. And I know we'd take commercial breaks, so I'll pause there.
Absolutely. Okay.
Right,
So let's go in a commercial break, and then we continue. And because I really want to highlight also, because you're a very productive author and a role model for this year. You inspired me to write my own first book. So, yes. But first, we're going to give it a short commercial break with our sponsors, then we come back.
Sounds good.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com.
Hello and welcome back here on USA Global TV and Radio to the Mallorca Connection after our short commercial break. And we continue with our CEO and founder of USA Global TV and Radio. And it's an honor and a pleasure to bring her back, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck.
Hello, Roland. It's
Hello,
good to be back.
Jacalyn. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's great to have you back. I just changed my glasses. Dr. Jacalyn, you're not an amazing entrepreneur as a broadcaster, as a producer. You're very into the fitness industry. Really, you rock it amazingly. I just have one of them. Well, she has the energy. I mean, you're almost the same age as her. Well, she rocks it. She's a role model. I love that. But you're also very productive in writing books. And now it's book number 16 is already in the market and already hit the best-selling of Amazon. So how did you come to writing, and what is your goal in writing? What drives you there?
Thank you for the question. My first book, actually, I have here, and it's funny when you look back, and this was my first book, Behind the Green Screen. And it's so funny, my mother took this picture. This was actually in my studio, and a picture on the back of what my studio looked like. So it was an evolution. But I was introduced, I should say, to Red O'Loughlin by, I don't even know who, because we have so many people in Texas, the state of Texas. And Red had this interview style that he used when you were a new author. So if you're writing a book for the first time, sometimes it could be daunting to sit there and write it out or type it out. And, I'm not a full-time author. We have people here on this platform who are full-time authors, and I give them a lot of credit. I'm not a full-time author. I don't want to be a full-time author. I'm not looking to make a fortune from selling books. I really do it basically for the credibility and also to bring education and a legacy to leave. So with the book Behind the Green Screen, it was my story of how and why I left corporate and then how I started rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. And in the book is literally every piece of equipment that I used at the time. And also the makeup that I was wearing, the clothes that I was wearing. I had wigs at the time. This is my hair. It's on a wig, but I put it all in there so that if you wanted to start your own show, pick up the book and then you can do it yourself. So that's how it first started. And then it became a #1 new release. And I kind of got the writing bug and I liked doing books. So the next book you were in, which was Adversity to Awesome, which also became a #1 new release for Amazon. And that was people providing stories of how they had overcome something. And you shared your story. I shared my story in it. And from there, I started with the children's books. And I have one here. And this, to me, I want to just talk about this concept a little, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. So Lady Ella is a ladybug who flies around the world. She even went into outer space, and she's helping children learn how to listen. So as we get older, you don't have to undo all those bad habits. You're also in this book. This is you here.
Yeah, the Black Panther, I remember.
Black Panther. And so each of the people who are in the book are featured they have a character. You designed the character. We had an illustrator do it. And then you have information on your bio in there, if I could get it on the screen. So then more and more people wanted to be in the books. So I just started writing more stories. And of course, the books are all dedicated to my great niece, which is so funny. This is Ella, but she's now 3. She's so much bigger than this. So I went from that. I think we have 8 books in this series. And then I started doing activity books. So we've got activities, we've got coloring, we've got Christmas books. And then from there, I went on to, this is really my business card, Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. And it goes along with the courses that I teach. And in this book, there are 2 quizzes. There are testimonials. And so you can take a quiz before you start the book to see how your listening skills are. And then at the end, have they improved? So this book here is what I use when I go and teach courses around the world, either setting boundaries or asking permission, understanding the influence of judgment, and then also mastering the power of elevated listening. And now the new book has come out. And I just want to give a quick story, if I could, about how the book was, how I got the idea for the book.
Please.
So I am invited to an event at the end of this month. And the event is a book signing. And there are going to be a number of authors there in this space. And the person who invited me has hired me to teach my courses before. In fact, I'm teaching one later this month. And she said to me, I know you have your TV platform, but you can't have any signage, any banners, any logo merchandise about the TV platform because you don't have a book. And I thought, that's interesting because I don't have a book about the TV platform. So I went back to her and I said, you know what? I will have a book. I will have a book and it will be available and it will be for sale at the event. So I reached out to Red, who's my book coach and editor and a dear friend. And I said, I got another book I'm going to be working on. So I started working on it, but I already had 2 other books that I was working on, one for the children's series and one for the second in Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. So I put them aside and I just started working on this. And then Red and I would meet and edit and edit and edit. And then I asked everyone on the team who's still actively working for the TV channel to send in a bio. Then we collected all the show graphics and that's how it started. So when it was time to publish, which I picked the date and it was yesterday. And then now today, if I could, I just want to share my screen. It started as a top new release. And now this is the paperback. The paperback is a #1 new release.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And in addition, the ebook is a #1 new release. So what I would just like to share with the audience is this is not an easy thing to do. And I personally spent, I think I told you, 15 hours this weekend just doing social media posts. And the reason why it's so important to me is because I want as many people as possible to know about it, because I want them to know about our team. I want them to be able to reach out to our team. And I want them to follow us and to subscribe to our channel, because the people like you here are doing an amazing work with what you're sharing to a global audience.
Thank you. Really, it's amazing what you do. Everybody has a 24 hours, 7 days a week, and you're the same like me. You fill it really with things that drive you, and I think that's what makes you a role model. Because besides that, some people maybe don't know, you're also a trainer in a gym. Yeah, you work out like a 20-year-old girl. Bring people to sweat. You mentioned Elevate Listener, and I highly recommend to our audience really get a book and get a taste of the book, and then join the course. It was also a game changer for me. I did it, I guess, 2 years ago, something like that. I don't remember. Yeah, something like 2 years ago. And it's so important to become an elevated listener. It can be a game changer in your business relationships, in your family, in your personal relationship with your spouse, with your partner. Absolutely important. So 16 books on the market, broadcasting, sweating the hell out of young people in the gym, coaching, traveling. When are you resting?
I get about 10 hours of sleep a night, and I sleep very well. I didn't sleep well last night because I was determined to see when are we going to get, are we going to get, but I just thought it would be an if. So one thing I just want to share to thank you, because I don't know if you remember this or not, but when I was living in Florida, I was really interested in working as a fitness coach in this specific place. And I called you we actually spoke on Messenger, and I said to you, what do you think? And you asked me some questions that basically, was this where I was going to be headed for my career? Like, is this the direction I wanted to go in? And it really wasn't. So what you had shared was, it was a distraction to where it is I wanted to go. And when I was in Florida, later than that, so I didn't audition for that, because that was a lot of time that you were required, a lot of hours. But I think it was last year before I moved, I was teaching spin, and I was teaching TRX, and I was teaching yoga sculpt with the weights. And I was doing it, I think my mom had passed, and I kind of was lonely, and I had the ability to teach and make some extra money. And then when I moved, I thought, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. So I don't teach classes anymore. I take other people's classes. And when I moved, I thought I belonged to this amazing fitness. It's like an athleisure club, if you're like a country club for fitness. And I thought, I have all the qualifications, I have all the certifications, and they actually needed a couple of people. And I thought, no, I'm not doing that. I did it. I don't need to do it. I'm still certified, but that's not where I'm going. So I want to thank you for the mentorship that you gave me, because otherwise I could have gone a totally different direction.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that honor. But that's so important, because sometimes we love something, and we focus on it, and we get distracted, and then we lose our main goal, our main vision, because we only have 24 hours. Yeah. And then, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very true. So I think that's one of the big things that I'd like people to take away from it is surround yourself with people like Roland. Surround yourself like people we have on this team, people who want to help you. There will certainly be on the journey many people who don't want to help you, many people who don't believe in you. I've had so many people say to me over the years, not recently, but what are you doing? And, at some point you're going to be too old to go back to corporate. And I said, I'm never going back to corporate. I had a great career and there's no way. Nothing inspires me more than having my own business.
Yeah. Yeah, we are the streamers, we're not only dreaming, but we really bring these dreams alive. Yeah. And we go for it no matter what other people are thinking about us or judging or whatever. We just go for it. And sometimes it's a hard way, but it's a cool, it's an amazing learning, and it makes us stronger and more successful. And the point is, even when one of our businesses crashes, we know exactly what to do the next day to build up the next one, because we get so much experience by doing, not by just talking. It's all about doing. It's all about doing. And people always say, yes, I know this, I know this, and yeah, you know it, but can you do it? That's the difference. Yeah,
it's very true. Very true. And I know one of my mentors / friends, him, Philip Sykes. He has opened doors for me in so many ways. I was in London in November for the World Summit on Women and Girls for Dr. Justina Matali. I actually got to sit on a panel with these women from all over the world. And I was talking about media and television. And anyway, Philip then had me in his Train the Trainer program and teaching my course, Setting Boundaries and Asking Permission. And he invited me back again. I'm going in June. And I'm also going back in September for somebody else who invited me, Dr. Chan and Glenda Benavides, to speak at a retreat. So you just never know where things are going to go. And you just have to keep bringing value and helping other people with their careers. That's why when I write a book, it's not about me. I'm grateful. I am appreciative. I'm thankful, but I want to highlight and spotlight other people. So this new book is really a tribute to everybody who's taken the time to come to this platform and share their education. It takes time. It takes time for you to be here today. You have to find Wi-Fi. You have to make sure you're set up, and you have to make sure you're mentally prepared. And that means a lot.
Absolutely. But I love it. I love it. Because I'm living in my motorhome. I travel around Europe, and it's like, okay, next spot, hopefully I have a Wi-Fi so I can join and run my shows. Sometimes it didn't happen because there was no Wi-Fi. But
right, yeah. It's out of your control. But what I do know about you is, if you didn't like doing this or you didn't find value, you wouldn't be doing it. And because you're not going to waste your time with something. And as a result, or maybe in tandem or partnership with doing this, you have your own platform, which is amazing. You're interviewing people in German. You interviewed someone here last week in German, and that's one of our top shows. So, and then the show that you did with me about you being an author, that was the top show for the month. So You just never know where these things are going to go.
Absolutely. By the way, the author, it was always a dream by myself since my youngest age as a student to become an author. But I said, no, I'm not good enough, and then I became part of your book, From Adversity to Excellence, bring a little bit in, and then you introduced me to Red also, and then he encouraged me. So both of you really have been a huge inspiration for me finally, I'm releasing my book this year, 2 books this year. So it's coming. One will be self-published, and the other one is by a publishing house. Yeah, but it was a long journey, but I'm very, very grateful for your inspiration.
Well, thank you. And I'd like to just share something that Red shared with me. He actually interviewed someone on one of his shows. I don't know if it's the Corner Bookstore or the Wise Ones. And the guy's name is Blake Edvard, and he's with a company called Evolution Media Firm. And so Red hired him, I want to say last year, to get his books into bookstores. So, when you publish on Amazon, the book goes on Amazon, and that's it. Unless someone goes to a Barnes and Noble, or I forget what, the Waterstone stores, I think in Europe. If they request your book, my understanding is they'll have the book brought in, and then it ends up showing up on the website. That at least happened for a few of my books, because I know no one's carrying them. So if you go on to Ingram Spark, you can pay to have your books in the bookstore. But with this company and what they're doing, they actually have shown Red. I saw that the spreadsheet, his books are going to be soon to be in hundreds and hundreds of bookstores. So after vetting him, this guy and his company, I've also hired him. We have our first meeting tomorrow. And so my goal is, maybe I'll make a few dollars selling books, but also more people will have access to the education. And so that's really what it's about.
Absolutely. That was my goal, with this German book about Daddy, Where Are You? I know that the fee is very small when you go to a publishing house, but it's not about the fee. Like you said, it's not about making money out of it. It's just about not only reputation marketing. I want to touch and inspire so many people as possible with this topic. And that's why was also looking for a publishing house to be in every bookstore in the German-speaking countries, no matter how much they pay me, but just it's difficult to advertise yourself in your books. It's a hell of effort, as you said, spending 15 hours on social media. And it's also my goal to be more in publishing housing, so more people have access to the book. Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best with it. And if I can help you or Red can help you, you'll let us know.
Thank you. Dr. Jacalyn, what is your, when we summarize, what are your golden nuggets, or what do you want to share to the audience to say, I want to build up, I don't know, a media station, whatever kind of business. So as you said, we get so many no's, we have self-doubts. Sometimes we don't have really get support from our family and friends because they don't understand what we're doing. What is your advice to people who want to start their own business, whatever it is?
First, be honest with yourself. Do you really have a strong passion and desire to see through whatever it is you want to do? Or is it just something that you're toying with? And I used to watch Shark Tank, and they would talk to the people on the carpet with whatever it was they were proposing. This sounds like a hobby. So something can start out as a hobby, but at some point you're going to have to be all in. And meaning all in, you're going to be doing everything in the beginning. And while your friends are on vacation, your friends are out partying, they're celebrating, you are going to be working if you want it to be successful. So you have to have that commitment and that passion to making it happen. You have to believe in it so much that other people can see the value of what you're doing and what you're bringing. So if you're not 100% committed, don't even bother. The next thing is find people who are already where you want to go. Roland mentioned that. And find people who are doing what you want to do, and they're doing it well. Usually people who are successful will be open to mentoring. And Red is my mentor, Roland's my mentor, Al's my mentor, Ian's my mentor, Helen is my mentor, Madeline's my mentor. So I have Mariska, I have mentors all over the world, and I go to them and I say, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing. What do you think? And they're not trying to problem solve for me. They're also coaches themselves. So they're asking questions that get me to think, is this the direction I want to go in? And then finally, I remember when my father was alive, and he and my uncle had a couple of car dealerships, new car dealerships, and I was in sales, and I'd say, Dad, no one's buying a car today. It's raining. Dad, no one's buying a car today. It's snowing. Dad, it's sunny. Who's coming to buy a car? And he would say, they're all excuses. So the weather will come, the weather will go. People will come, people will go. Money will come, money will go. You have to stay the course and believe in what you're doing. And finally, take the emotion, park it at the door, and find the solution. And when you fail, you actually win because it's an opportunity to learn something. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a good end. It's a good end. Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn. Thank you for having me, being part of the family. I'm so grateful for that. It's always an honor and a pleasure, and I wish you all the best. And I guess the best is yet to come. I strongly believe the best is yet to come. Absolutely. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you for having me on your show, Roland. Bye for now.
Bye. Whoa, I have goosebumps. I don't know how you feel on the other side of the screen. I have goosebumps, and it was an honor and a pleasure to interview Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the CEO and founder of this amazing platform where I can be part of it. And I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you love the show, please share it. Subscribe if you haven't done. Subscribe like 100,000 others on YouTube. If maybe you want to become a host and learn something, contact USA Global TV and Radio. And even if you don't have the knowledge and all the skills in the beginning, it doesn't matter. You can learn it. You get mentors who are on your side. So if you think about having a career on USA Global TV and Radio, contact us. You're more than welcome. We're all here to support you. It's all about sharing and caring. I don't want to talk much about myself. If you want to learn more about myself, just go to my website. It's my name, rolandfriedl.com. I spell it for you guys who are sitting in front of a radio or the podcast. It's ROLANDFRIEDL.com, rolandfriedl.com. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, we stay in touch. Thanks a lot. All the best. Stay healthy. And until the next time. Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye.
My name is Dr. Felix Kravitz, and I am the founder of cybersecurityeasy.com, LLC. We live in a world full of vulnerabilities and cyber risks. We spend almost 4.5 hours a day on our mobile phones. It's over 7 hours of screen time daily when including computer use. We often forget that this convenience comes with risks. Published data predicts that the cost of cybercrime will exceed $10.5 trillion in 2025. These numbers encompass not only businesses, but also each one of us, including our children and our parents. In 2023, the FBI reported over $3.4 billion lost by seniors aged 60 and older. Cybersecurityeasy.com LLC's initiative is to massively support the community by providing cyber safety coaching and improving social engineering awareness. Our goal is to make social engineering concepts of cybersecurity easier to understand. We work with business teams, seniors, and educational institutions, both individually and in groups. We cover various topics from phone phishing attacks to AI-generated voice cloning, robocalls, password protection, and more using life examples. Talk to us today. Call us at 847-845-9360 or email us at info@cybersecurityeasy.com.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Steve Klein Art at steveklein.art.
My name is Steve Klein, born Manchester, England, 1953. My quest in my lifetime is to create artwork from my soul and the deepness within my wildest dreams and fantasies. In 2012, my heart stopped when I was given too much anesthetic for a minor knee operation, and this near-death experience took me to another multidimensional world, an out-of-body experience, and I was given the gift of being blessed by an overwhelming, burning passion to become, for the very first time in my life, an artist with an eternal, passionate desire to bring my art, which I've named multidimensional, subliminal, freeform art, to the world, as only 3% recover from what I experienced. And now in my golden years want to release my cosmic, vital energy through my art to allow people to be a part of my cosmic dance.
To learn more, email roccogoodwine@gmail.com. For VIP pricing, mention USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.